Smiley N. Pool staff photographer. Texas Tech head coach Kliff Kingsbury watches from the sidelines before the Red Raiders spring scrimmage at the Star on Saturday, April 7, 2018, in Frisco. Smiley N. Pool, the Dallas Morning News. Let's see if we've got this straight. Kliff Kingsbury gets fired at Texas Tech. Snubs. NFL teams interested in him as an offensive coordinator. Becomes the OC at USC. Watches USC block NFL teams interested in him as a head coach. Reportedly threatens to quit USC. Gets permission to interview with the Jets and Cardinals, and is hired Tuesday to be Arizona's latest head coach. All this scene lacks is a tent and a pipe organ. But if you can put aside the circus atmosphere for a moment, your intrepid reporter will make a case why Kingsbury is a better fit as a head coach in the NFL than he was in Lubbock. Which is good, because Kliff was, like, 35-40 at Tech. Second worst winning percentage in school history. And just 19-35 in Big 12 play. Betting no one cites those numbers at the coming out party, Wednesday in Tempe. Even a great college record is no guarantee of NFL stardom. Steve Spurrier tops the list of busts, followed by Nick Saban and Lou Holtz, and on and on and on. On the flip side, a fairly mediocre college record doesn't necessarily preclude a coach from finding NFL success. Tom Coughlin was 1.6-1.5-2 at RIT in the early 70s before realizing the initials stood for Rochester Institute of Technology, at which point he went back to Syracuse. The reason most successful college coaches don't make the transition to the NFL is because it's a completely different job. College coaches recruit every day, in one form or another. Sell, sell, sell. Getting good players to come to your school is pretty much what makes a college program. Side note, Monday's national championship game may not signal a changing of the guard, but if you're a five-star recruit looking to win titles and prep for the NFL, and you could play for Dabo Swinney, the Fred Rogers of football, or Nicky Saban, where would you go? Anyway, by all accounts, not to mention the product on the field, Kingsbury wasn't much of a recruiter. He could certainly find quarterbacks. He either discovered or developed Case Keenum, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Davis Webb, Patrick Mahomes, and Nick Shimonik. That's 2 Heismans, 1 potential MVP, and 6 guys with NFL experience. Given that this track record covers 3 schools in 3 conferences, it seems more than a coincidence. Kingsbury could spot a quarterback from 30,000 feet on the flight to Tempe. But he apparently wouldn't recognize a defensive tackle if Aaron Donald introduced himself. Kingsbury wasn't much of a schmoozer, either. Mac Brown smoozes. He knows the name of every player, administrator, coach, official, reporter, booster, or plumber within a 500-mile radius. Mac likes talking, even to media, God bless him. Watching Kliff address a room full of reporters at his last game, staring blankly at the back wall between questions, I expected him to give his name, rank, and serial number. Of course, no one cares if you're boring in the NFL. Hasn't hurt Jason Garrett. Not much, anyway. What works in the NFL is copying whatever the most successful teams are doing. And what's trending now is Sean McVay, the brilliant young coach with the photographic memory who will try to outwit Garrett on Saturday. If you don't believe me, check out Tuesday's release. The Cardinals praised their new hire as friends with Rams coach Sean McVay, the 32-year-old defensive genius who has become the blueprint of many of the new coaching hires around the NFL. After taking a beating on Twitter, where it seemed sort of funny that an NFC West team would fawn over a rival's head coach, Arizona officials changed the wording. Took out the friends part. Left genius and blueprint. The difference between McVay and Kingsbury, other than about 5 inches in height, is that McVay grew up in the NFL. Kingsbury's NFL experience is limited to 5 organizations over 4 years, all as a backup quarterback. That background shouldn't be underrated. At least he knows what an NFL locker room is supposed to look and sound like. Besides, what matters to the Cardinals is whether Kingsbury can do for Josh Rosen what McVay did for Jared Goff. Make Rosen into a viable NFL quarterback, and it's all good. Finding players to fill out a roster won't be Kingsbury's job. But if the Cards were smart, which is open to question, the new coach assess whether they should stick with Rosen or trade down and draft Ohio State's Dwayne Haskins. No matter what you think of Kingsbury's coaching chops, don't doubt his opinion on quarterbacks. Otherwise, all the Cardinals have to do is draft well for a change and let someone such as Todd Bowles run the defense. Having said all that, if it were up to me, I'd have rehired Bruce Arians, who got the Tampa Bay job Tuesday after taking a year off from Arizona. He's not as photogenic as Kliff, but he's great with quarterbacks. Love the beret, too. Twitter, @SherringtonDman.